Hey guys, Wonderhussy here at an undisclosed location in, I'm gonna call it South Central California. And why am I being so cagey about the location, you might wonder? Well, it's because I'm hoping to hike to a hot spring. Yeah, I know, right at the side of a highway, just like everything else in California. This particular hot spring you actually have to pay. There's a day use fee of $2 to hike to it. So I put my $2 in this envelope. I put the envelope in the Iron Ranger. I put the stub of the envelope on my dashboard, and now I should be good to go to hike to this hot spring. Now, if what I read online is to be believed, this isn't that great of a hot spring. I mean, ironically, we're not that far from the... I just saw this sign about mountain lions. Yikes. It says it's best to hike with another person. Well, I'm by myself, so I have no choice. It says, if you should encounter a mountain lion, wave your arms overhead and make plenty of noise to frighten it away. Oh gosh, I have bear spray in my car. I wonder if I should bring that just in case. Better safe than sorry. Okay, take two. Now that I'm appropriately armed, like I was saying, this hot spring, ironically enough, isn't that far from a video I did a while back at a hot spring in a really fancy neighborhood. A neighborhood where people like Prince Harry and Meghan and Oprah and Barbara Streisand live. Well, that hot spring was absolutely beautiful, and I can see why there was all the hubbub about it. This hot spring, according to everything I've read, and not just online, also in the hot spring guidebook, is not supposed to be that nice. I think it's only 2 pools. They're not that hot, and they're supposed to have mucky bottoms, one of which was even described as having a slimy bottom in the hot spring guidebook. So, I don't know, I guess my expectations for this little adventure aren't super high, but in the back of my mind, there's always the possibility that people just say it's a crappy hot spring online because they don't want other people coming to it. Okay, that's happened to me at least a couple times where people go, oh, this hot spring's terrible, people will break into your car, or the water sucks, or this or that, or it's poison oak. And it's all just bluster to try to keep people away because the regulars don't want their hot spring getting overcrowded, which I certainly understand. And so all this talk of shallow, muddy, slimy pools, and yes, I did read on one hiking website that there's so much poison oak on the trail you shouldn't even try it. Well, part of me wonders if all of that isn't just misinformation, disinformation, trying to keep the likes of me away. While the agents of this disinformation or misinformation didn't realize with whom they were dealing here. I'm not easily scared away, okay? I am bonkers about hot springs. I've been to well over 100 at this point. And even if this is shallow, and even if this is muddy, and even if the bottom is slimy, well, that's not gonna keep me from at least checking it out. And yeah, it's only supposed to be, I think, 96 degrees or something, which isn't that hot for a hot spring. But guess what? It's a beautiful, sunny day. I think it was about 77 degrees at the trailhead. And I'm hiking uphill. So by the time I get to these pools, whew, I'm probably gonna want an even cooler soak than 96 degrees. But 96 degrees will probably feel pretty darn good. Right, mountain lions? Hello, mountain lions, I'm on my way. Please expect me in your neighborhood. I feel like, well, they want me to make a lot of noise. I'm gonna make a lot of noise. I'm not hiking with anyone. Well, not exactly, but virtually. I'm hiking with you, and you, and you. That's right, you. You didn't think you could hike anymore. Well, guess what? You're hiking with me on this trail right now under this beautiful canopy of oak trees. It smells amazing. Can you smell it? And don't you just love the way the sun is shining off the leaves? Oh, absolutely gorgeous. It's a great day to be doing this hike. So thanks for coming with me. Okay, it looks like there's a sign here. I gotta be careful because it says the name of the hot spring, but that arrow pointing to the left goes right to it. So we're gonna take this left, and then apparently I'm gonna come to another fork in the road in a little while, and I'm gonna have to take a right on a pretty narrow, overgrown little trail that supposedly is clogged with poison oak. We'll see about that. All right, mountain lions. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. There's two little pools, one up top, and there's unfortunately 3 women in swimsuits soaking up there. And then there's this lower pool, which I'm guessing is the one that's supposed to have the real slimy bottom. But I don't know, it looks really neat. I mean, it kind of has that same milky turquoise color as those fancy neighborhood hot springs. And look at that, little warm waterfall coming down out of the rocks. Turned the rocks all, I guess, white with minerals. I mean, yeah, I'm sure the bottom is real funky, and when I step in it, the water's gonna get cloudy, but I don't care. I'm not going up top and wearing a swimsuit. I'm soaking down here the old-fashioned way. Oh man, my foot did sink down about 6 inches into some muck. I hope there's no broken glass in here. Oh, gross. Is that a worm? Oh man. I'm not sure I even want to sit down in here. I don't want any worms crawling up my hoo-ha. Well, might as well sip on a ranch water while I'm waiting. I'm kind of waiting for these women up top to get bored and leave. I have a feeling they're probably going to leave before too long, and then I can go up there and shoot video of that top pool, but also soak in it, because to be honest, I don't know what's in this muck, man. There could be broken glass, there's worms, there could be, well, gosh only knows what else there could be. So if I didn't bring my floaty because I thought these would be too shallow to float in, but I guess I would recommend, if you came here, you could actually probably float in or on some kind of little floaty down here, and it would be very pleasant. I mean, you can see the whole pool is shaded by this giant half-dead palm tree, but it shades this whole little pool that it smells kind of sulfury, but not super sulfury. And then the sound of that waterfall is very peaceful. You know, it'd kind of be like being in a spa. If you were laid out on one of those flat floaties, the sound of the waterfall in the shade, very relaxing. Yeah, this water does feel like it's probably about 95, 96 degrees coming down this waterfall as advertised. I'm guessing this must have been part of an old hot springs resort or something. I mean, it looks like we're sitting in the ruins of like an old tub. Then again, I suppose these walls could have just been built by hot springs enthusiasts, aka volunteers. I mean, this wall here is just built out of big boulders with some kind of mortar quickcrete jammed in between. Wow, look at how cool the colors in this waterfall are too. Like this beautiful, like sea foam green. I guess it's algae. And then down here, there's like this really cool purple and pink. I guess these are all just natural colors. I've been sitting here all dang afternoon waiting for these other people to leave that upper pool so I could go shoot some footage. And unfortunately, they were enjoying it way too much. They didn't want to leave. One of the women came down here to this pool, and I chatted with her for a while. And she goes, oh, you should come up top. There's no mud up top. But, you know, I'm naked, and there was a guy with them, too. They were all older. They were wearing swimsuits. I don't know. I didn't want to be rude. Anyway, they finally just left. So now we can go check out the upper pool. And I just wish I had a second ranch water to drink while I'm up there. Okay, well, we're leaving this sumpy but very picturesque lower pool. And now we have to navigate this mucky, muddy, and I guess this is the creek running down from the hot spring. Yeah, that is. That's the runoff from this pool, which is the runoff from the upper pool. So yeah, I've basically been lounging around in ass water. Those people's ass water from the upper pool. Not terrible ass water though. I mean, golly, from this perspective, it really is a beautiful little hot spring. But okay, let's keep going. We have this pool here in the middle that, well, let me zoom out. It's just a little tiny round wallow. Let me put my foot in, might as well. In the interest of being thorough. Oh God, it's much warmer than the one I was in. Oh gosh, yeah, but it is. It's got real deep muck. I don't feel like messing around with it, especially not if I have a muck-free, or an allegedly muck-free pond waiting for me up top. So let's not waste any more time and go check it out. It's interesting. There's this weird suction-y sound coming out of the hillside. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it sounds like there's some suction or sucking sound coming out of the hillside. It's like this weird burping gurgle. And there's another little tiny hot seep coming out of there feeding that in-between pool. So I guess that waterfall is coming from up top. And this gurgling, belching stream here is also coming from up top. It kind of sounds like me when I was sucking out the last bits of that ranch water. Okay, let's go up top and see this amazing upper pool. You know, they say good things come to those who wait. And I waited all afternoon for my chance to soak in this upper pool, which is, dun, dun, dun! Wow! This is actually super cool. Look at this. There's looks like a pretty nice rock-lined hot spring pool, shaded by that palm tree, which doesn't look dead at all from down here. I mean, I'm not so sure about that tall part, but yeah, there's plenty of shade. And it's just, you know, right on top of that other pool. There's even a little stone bench here for you to put your clothes and stuff. Wow, so much more civilized than down below. I'll put my backpack, my towel. Oh, I'll look down here. Oh, this must be the source. I think this is the source where the hot spring water is coming out of the mountain. You can maybe hear it and see it bubbling. Ooh, and it does smell very sulfurous. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, for my ASMR fans, I'm gonna turn my microphone around and point it right at that. Oh, man, this hot spring is a feast for all the senses. I mean, not only does it does smell very sulfury up here, but the sound of that bloop, 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 and now I'm gonna feel it. I wanna put my toe right in the source and see how hot it is. Oh man, it feels amazing. It's not hot at all. It's just the right temperature. I'm guessing coming out of the source, it's probably like 101 maybe. And man, if the whole hot spring was this temperature, it would be amazing. But I guess by the time it flows, well, I guess it bubbles out from the source underneath this little stone bench. And you can kind of see it flows along here. Oh, it looks like there's another source coming out here. Look at that, there's all kind of bubbles coming out of this hot spring. Wow, look at that. This is so clear and so beautiful. And these little bubbles coming out of the ground. Oh, yeah, this might be 199, you know, but by the time it comes out and fills up this whole bigger, deeper pond, well, I'm guessing it cools off considerably. Oh, man, I am really good at making myself wait. I have excellent, what do they call that? Your emotional intelligence. I can wait and preserve the best, juiciest thing for last. And so I've been here for probably 3 hours now, and I finally get to go in the best part of this hot spring. Let's go in. Okay, this woman I was talking to said this is not muddy. Oh, well, you can see a little bit of dirt got kicked up, but no, it's more of a rocky bottom up here. And it's kind of a, well, it's like you can see right here, it's a jaggedy volcanic type rock. So it's real easy not to slip, but it's not like the most comfortable thing to walk on. Oh yeah, the bottom is pretty nice and firm. There's a little bit of gravel. Very pleasant temperature. I would guess, yeah, pretty much like what they said, maybe 96. Well, let's see how it feels when we submerge ourselves. Oh my gosh, this feels incredible. You know, 96 degrees is basically body temperature. So it sort of feels like floating in the womb, like amniotic fluid. Oh my gosh, this is actual paradise. Wow, and it actually kind of feels like soaking in the Tiki Room, okay? If you've ever been to Disneyland and you went in the Enchanted Tiki Room, it's a relic from the 1960s. When I was a kid, anytime we went to Disneyland, my mom's favorite thing, and we always had to go in with her, was the Tiki Room. And when I was a kid, I was like, oh, wow, this is so corny. These mechanical birds singing and this fake rainstorm. And well, now that I'm older and I've been introduced to the pleasures of tiki drinks, I'm a huge fan of all things tiki, including the Tiki Room. And this hot spring kind of reminds me of it. You know, we're kind of soaking under this beautiful bower of palm fronds in this mysterious, warm lagoon made out of lava rock with this crazy bubbling sound in the background. Actually feels like I'm soaking in a giant tiki drink. Oh my God, if you've ever been to a tiki bar and had all those delicious tiki drinks like Mai Tais and rum punch, sailor's grog, Bahama Mama. Well, they usually have that one big fancy tiki drink that's like, I think it's called a scorpion. It's a giant drink. I think it's supposed to be shared by 2 people. Big, red, bubbling. I think they put dry ice on it so it's steaming. This like crazy production of a drink. Well, that's sort of what I feel like I'm soaking in right now. A giant, warm tiki drink. A tiki drink. The temperature of amniotic fluid. Doesn't that sound good? Okay, I know, a warm tiki drink probably sounds like the grossest thing you can imagine, but I don't know, it's just the perfect metaphor for what I'm doing right now, and oh my God. Imagine soaking here at night. You could turn this into like a little tiki lounge, you know, bring up some of those fake flickering candles, the fake ones, so you wouldn't burn the forest down. And you know, at tiki lounges, they put the candles in those little glass jars, and then you could have tiki drinks, and you could have tiki music. Bali. Unfortunately, I spent so much time waiting around that I can't really stay here that much longer, and I don't have any more ranch water anyway, so I mean, I suppose I could run back down to my car and grab another one, but by the time I did all that, well, the odds are somebody would probably be hiking up here anyway, although I haven't seen any new visitors. Maybe I could at least soak another 15 minutes before I leave. Man, this is so peaceful. Even though you can faintly hear the highway in the distance. I mean, this hot spring is that close to the highway. I think it's probably, I don't know how far I hiked. It didn't even seem like a mile. So I would guess that we are probably less than a mile from a major highway. I won't say which one, but you'd never really know it up here. I mean, yeah, you can hear it very faintly in the background, but you know, then there's the burbling and there's a soft rustling in the trees of probably mountain lions getting ready to pounce on me. You know, they're waiting for me to get nice and soft, and what do they call that? Sous vide. When you heat something up in hot water in a plastic bag. Well, minus the plastic bag, I'm basically being sous vided in this hot spring. And well, I'd probably make a delicious dinner for a mountain lion. So that being said, I guess I better start thinking about getting out, because I don't want to be hiking down in the dusk, because isn't that when mountain lions come out? You know, they're crepuscular, aren't they? They come out at dawn and dusk. There's a fancy word for you, crepuscular. Anyway, not only do I not want to get eaten by a crepuscular mountain lion, but I also still need to go find a place to, well, I was going to say camp, but it's so freaking hard to find free camping anywhere in this area that I think I'm just gonna cheese out and get the cheapest motel I can find, which even that, like even the Motel 6s are $100 around here, but c'est la vie! That's the price you pay for hanging out in beautiful places like this. But before I leave, one more look at this beautiful little hot spring, the Tiki Bowl upstairs, and the beautiful turquoise waterfall wallow below decks. And then of course the micro wallow in between. You know, it's a shame about that lower pool. It's so beautiful. It just has such a gross bottom. I don't know what could be done about that. I guess the top pool just has that natural lava rock bottom, and that's just the way it is. Down below it's just silt, you know, from the creek. And so short of bringing in a bunch of lava rock and lining that bottom pool, I don't know that there's much you could do. You just kind of have to accept it for what it is. And what it is, in my opinion, is better to look at than to actually get in. Although, like I said, if you had a floaty, it probably wouldn't be too bad down there. You know, I'm looking at this rock work, stonework, which I originally thought might be the ruins of some old hot spring resort, but I don't think that is the case. I think it really is just all volunteer built retaining walls. I mean, up here, same thing. This all looks very rustic and very natural, and maybe that's why the Park Service just lets it stay, because it kind of just looks like nature made it this way, you know? Nature's beautiful hot tub. Nature's beautiful, bubbling, burbling hot tub. That's some mighty fine burbling. Okay, I gotta go. Goodbye, beautiful. Well, I guess I'm gonna call this one Tiki Hot Springs. Goodbye, beautiful Tiki Hot Springs. I will almost certainly be back next time I happen to be traveling along this stretch of highway through this part of California. I'm not gonna say exactly where I am. You can just call it paradise.